Greetings, YouTube. We have a couple things to talk about today, but I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long, so we'll break them up into two shorter videos. The first is what was anticipated to be the new featured 5-star crystal. I really only know about these because you all out there who have been hoarding your 5-star shards so Kabam Mike can't sleep at night, contact me and say, hey, Prof, I'm going to be doing a huge featured crystal opening when the new 5-star featured hits. Would you like to commentate it? And of course, I'm always honored to commentate your crystal opening. So we will grade that, and we'll have 3 categories to start where we grade, and then I'll do another video after this grading the 6-star and 5-star signature stone bundles, which do remain probably the most expensive and sought-after item now in the game, especially with the new Glory Store changes that have actually lowered the price, thankfully, of Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments and Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst Fragments significantly. Okay, so we have the new featured 5-star Hero Crystal. I've not looked at this, so we're going to talk about 3 categories outside of the 6 featured champions, which, whether or not you love them, they're the new featured champions. You can't really grade those champions. So we're going to look at the 18 out of 24 remaining champions. We're going to split them into 3 categories. A trash champion, a good champion, but not a champion that's worth 15,000 5-star shards, or a great champion / straight banger that I would be really excited to open in a featured crystal. And the hope in a featured crystal, when I do the math, is that 12 out of 24 of the champions will either be featured or really good. And we have seen some past featured 5-star crystals where it's actually like closer to 16 or 17 of the 24 champions, but we've also seen some champions where it's more like 10 out of 24. Okay, so we're going to start with Abomination. Well, that is a trophy champion for sure, but not worth 15,000 5-star shards at all. In fact, really, I would argue outside of the trophy aspect of him, he's not worth 10,000 5-star shards. He's trash. Bishop, I do think Bishop, and I'm guilty of this, gets overlooked so much that he actually in some ways has become underrated, particularly for those of you who've sent me some videos of him on defense. But he's not worth 15,000 5-star shards. I don't think there's anybody who could convince me of that. And so 0 for 2 in terms of champions that I'm excited about. OG Captain America, not Captain America Infinity War, not of course the one that's not even a 5-star Captain America World War II. OG Cap is fine, but not great. Certainly not worth 15,000 5-star shards. And at this point, given how many better champions are of the science class, I'd actually say he's closer to trash than cash. So we're 0 for 3 with champions that we're grading in this. Now, Doctor Strange, we have a second trophy champion. He is now available as a 6-star. And I don't think he's worth 15,000 5-star shards. If this was the OG pre-patch 12.0 Doctor Strange, I'd be freaking out right now. I'd be like, heck yeah, go for this. He's amazing. But Doctor Strange got neutered to the ground more than arguably any champion, especially when they did their first time ever beta test where they actually gave Thor back and Black Widow back some of their value as 4 stars at that time. But no, in this case, not worth it. So we are starting off with 4 really underwhelming champions. Now we have Domino. Heck yeah. Domino is a god tier, beyond god tier, whatever you want to call them tier, champion, top champion. You would be so pumped to get a Domino out of a 15,000 5-star shard crystal. We have our first straight banger of the new featured 5-star crystal. That's what I like to see. Electro. This is like the trophy champ Olympics right now. Just like Abomination and Doctor Strange, Electro is a champion that outside of being a trophy champion, because you can't get them from the 5-star basic crystal, that's why I call them a trophy champion, why they're called trophy champions, it's not a phrase I made up by any means. Not worth 15,000 5-star shards and closer to trash than cash. Domino is the only champion so far that I would recommend you get excited about. Okay. Then we have Electra, another champion that kind of like Bishop, I feel like we have overlooked to the point where she's now underrated, but certainly not worth 15,000 5-star shards or straight cash. Closer to trash than cash. Sorry, Electra. No. And then Groot. There is a champion out there who I despise landing on more than anybody else, and it is Groot. Groot and Mordo are like my top 2 champs. I'll take Iron Package over them. Why is Groot in this? Why? No. Trash. Straight trash. We're moving on. Iron Man Infinity War. I actually think Iron Man Infinity War's value has gone down significantly in the last year. He used to be like the best defender in the game. I remember when people first put Iron Man Infinity War down, even a 4-star would get like 30 kills. Nobody knew how to defeat him. Very few had tested or tried the counter, the heavy, bait the heavy with the heavy attack method. And then there are several nodes, and there still are, where you could just run into the worst problem ever facing that champion, where he just spams level 1s over and over again, and his power returns so fast that you don't have time to bait a heavy or get off a special in your own right. But in this case, I just feel like Iron Man Infinity War, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, and I'm saying he's a good enough champion to where we'll include him with Domino, but he's not anywhere close to Domino in terms of value. So, okay, Domino and Iron Man Infinity War, the only ones so far. Long Shot, of course, is featured. Luke Cage, great. Love Luke Cage. Definitely has tremendous value, especially when you're talking about power control. I have so many friends in my alliance who Luke Cage has been their MVP against that so super annoying Hyperion and Mat 5. So yeah, we're throwing Luke Cage into a champ. It's worth 15,000 5-star shards. Magneto is the number one most requested buffed champion for people who contact me, because Magneto in the X-Men family, in the X-Men universe, is OP, right? There are so many X-Men that it takes just to defeat him, and yet he's kind of pathetic in this game, and it makes no sense. So no, Magneto is not worth 15,000 5-star shards unless they're going to buff him soon, and they really should. All right, Misaka. Love Misaka. In fact, if you open a couple features and you haven't had Domino and Misaka, and then you get them together, well, you're going to massacre that RNG. See what I did there? So, yeah, absolutely worth 15,000 5-star shards. And, for that matter, so is Mephisto. Mephisto is a really solid champion. I really like Mephisto. I think he is a very good addition to the last couple years of the Mystic class. Mojo and Mole Man and Nova are all featured champions. Old Man Logan is better in some ways, but not significantly better. If you look at the difference between what Colossus is now versus before the beta, it's like going from like finding a ripped up like autographed baseball card to getting like a mint conditioned total straight banger. And that's a weird analogy. I collect cards. But he's improved so much. Old Man Logan in some ways hasn't really improved that much. Now I do love stacking bleeds and doing like the special one, but I don't know if Old Man Logan's worth 15,000 5-star shards still. I'm going to say no for the sake of being objective. I'm going to say no to that. Punisher 2099 certainly isn't. Red Skull certainly isn't. Sentinel is. Really like Sentinel, especially for variant content. Silver Surfer and Squirrel Girl are also featured champions. And then Superior, or what I sometimes refer to him as Inferior Iron Man, is not worth it as well. So when you're talking about the percentage of champions outside of the 6 featured champions that are a given in this crystal, how many, let's go through this together, are really worth getting excited about in this crystal? Domino, number 1. Iron Man Infinity War, number 2. Luke Cage, number 3. Mephisto, number 4. Sentinel, number 5. And Misaka, number 6. Did I skip over Misaka? Let's see. We got Mephisto, Misaka, Luke Cage, Iron Man Infinity War, Domino. Maybe it's just 5. Wow. 5 out of 18. That's less than 33%. Now, if you really want Mole Man or Silver Surfer, Prestige, Squirrel Girl, etc., then you're not going to care. But we have seen much better featured 5-star crystals in the game than this crystal. And if I'm grading it, which is the point of this video, I am going to grade this at a D. I'm going to grade it at a D. And the only reason why it's not an F is because Domino is in here. But I also want to say that like Silver Surfer and Nova, they kind of suck, right? Squirrel Girl is solid, but I don't know anybody yet that's max ranked. Her long shot is amazing. And I still don't know too much about Mojo, to be completely honest. Or Mole Man, for that matter. But it's a featured pool that is not as exciting as even what the Doctor Doom or Bust crystals were before this. So I just feel like it gets a D for me. Dog. Sorry, dog. It's a no for me. But obviously, if there's a champion in this that you're going to chase after that you feel is similar value to Doctor Doom, you'll call it that champion or Bust crystals, and you'll get this. And hey, maybe you'll get a Domino. If you don't have a Domino, it's really exciting. But you need to take out at least one Superior Iron Man or one Magneto or one of the 3 trophy champs in Abomination, Electro, and Doctor Strange, and put in another, even a Doc Ock, right? Somebody like that. That still increases the value. But when you give us so many bottom tier champs that actually really, really deserve and need a buff, it just leaves a lot of people spending 15,000 5-star shards to get a Groot. And that, honestly, sucks.